Hey everyone, before we get into things, I want to come out and say right from the start, I've been hesitant about making this video, not because I don't care, but because of the long, drawn-out drama that has been going on regarding this topic. For anyone not in the know, there's quite a bit of a flame war, drama train, whatever you want to call it, going on with various content creators. I'm not getting involved in that. I don't want to be pulled into those online hostilities. I don't want to add fuel to those fires. But just after watching everything evolve, I did feel it was important to say something. Again, not about the drama, but about the movement itself. So, if you're looking for commentary on creator conflicts or the controversy, this isn't the video for you. This video is going to be about my opinion and some rough background about the Stop Killing Games initiative and why I personally support it and why I think it matters. So, the Stop Killing Games movement started as a response to the increasing trend of developers shutting down games, especially online only or games with a live service. Basically, they were always online single player games, in ways that basically left you with a game that had nothing playable. The Crew is an example of that. No way to play it. There's no preservation of that product. There's no legacy, no nothing. But I'm an old school person. I still have a huge collection of physical media for games I bought upwards of 30 years ago. But anyways, these games are things people have spent time and money on and have some lasting memories. And now they're just gone. So the initiative is trying to push back against that. It's saying, we need to do better about this. We need to preserve our digital history, and we need developers and publishers to be more responsible with how they go about shutting down games that they no longer want to support. Now, let me say here, this isn't an attack on developers. They're doing what they're told. From anyone who's been following the channel for a while, you know I was a professional developer for the last, nearly 20 years. I'm not attacking the developers themselves. They do what they're told. That's how it works. What I'm calling for, or what the initiative is calling for, and what I'm supporting, is better systems, more transparency, and ultimately, at least I hope as well, options for players to continue playing the games in some form or another in a realistically playable way once official support ends, like offline mode, local hosting, or as there's been with some developers whose projects got mothballed real quick, open sourcing the abandonware. Now, I know open sourcing, again, developer background, not something that can always happen. Proprietary code, things like that. There is limitations and restrictions. I know there's no ideal 100% answer to this, but this is something that does need to be talked about and moved further, because as it stands right now, it's just a horrible situation. So, where are things right now? Well, in the last little while, this movement has picked up real traction. It's caught the attention of games media, preservation groups, players, and politicians. And some of these people have been directly affected. Some of these people are ones who are fighting for consumer rights. We've seen more open discussions around it already. There has been studios that have either come out in support of the movement, and I'm not going to name studios. There's been some that have tried to dance around the fact that they're doing exactly what what the movement's trying to prevent, and have said, oh yeah, we've been doing this for 10 plus years. It's just the way we do business. One of the big things, though, is it has drawn a lot of attention and started a lot of discussion around end-of-life policies. And honestly, it's helped improve the growing demand for ethical game sunsetting practices. Now, what's that mean? Well, basically it means, okay, I don't want to support this product anymore, this game. It had a server-side component. We don't want to run the servers anymore. We're now making a loss if we continue to run it. And I ultimately understand that's where development companies and producers and that all, or publishers I should say, all focus on. Like, okay, once we hit that point where we're now losing money to maintain service, it's no longer worthwhile. What do we do? Now, I do want to acknowledge, but I'm not going to drop any names, that there has been a lot of tension online lately around this. People involved in discussing the movement. As I said, I'm not going to go into that. That's not the point of the video. The ultimate goal of Stop Killing Games is really, to me, too important to get lost in these personal feuds, to get lost in the drama that's going on. And that's ultimately why I wanted to put this out, even with all of my hesitation. Is right now, every time I look up a video on YouTube or for more information about Stop Killing Games, it's just a drama farm. And I want to try and get something out that's not just farming clicks and farming drama. Ultimately, the message for Stop Killing Games, to me, is too important to get lost in that. We need to stay focused on that matter, and that matter is preserving games that we love and improving the way the software industry handles digital ownership. And I'm not talking about just games. This actually extends to all products. So I want to make it clear at this point that I do fully support the Stop Killing Games initiative. Yes, I'm an indie developer, wannabe indie developer, and I'm a professional developer. I understand there is some potential, I don't want to say hardships, but some potential additional effort that could be involved with any game developed once the initiative became a legal fact at some point in the future, if that happens. And I'm more than willing to entertain that and accept those potentials, because what it means on the grand scope of things is far more important to me than what ultimately, if I had a always online component, off the top of my head, depending on the complexity, 10 to 20 hours to bypass that, I'd put that effort in every time. So, and no, this isn't me just having nostalgia about my younger years. It is about respect for players, creators, and ultimately consumers, because this goes, as I mentioned, this isn't just an issue with games. This is an issue with all digital products. So, with that, if this is something that you feel strongly about, strongly about, and that you care about, there's a few ways you can help. If you're in the EU and you haven't, go sign the petition. I'll throw a link in the description below. If you don't live in the EU, share this with anyone you know. Like, just because you may not know anyone from Europe, still share it with people you know. If they care, hopefully they can share it with more people, and that gets the word spread. Ultimately, I want to see a situation where we hold these companies to a higher standard and stop letting them dictate to us how we're going to play their games. I do also want for things to stay constructive, though. This ongoing drama situation that's been happening for like the last couple weeks, it's really, in my opinion, distracting from the core issue. So with that though, folks, thank you for watching. I know this wasn't exactly a flashy or informative video, but I hope it gave you something to think about. Let's keep this signal strong. Let's keep the message going. Let's help Stop Killing Games keep pushing forwards, but please keep it respectful. I don't want any drama. I'm going to be very restrictive on comments on this video, just simply because I'm not having a drama farm. That's not the point of this video. So, as always though, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.